For thousands of years, humans have lived with a vast ocean of ignorance before them. Our history is the story of building small islands of knowledge in that ocean. We looked at the stars and slowly learned the laws of gravity. We looked at sickness and slowly uncovered the world of germs and genes. Each discovery was a lamp lit in a great darkness. These lamps did more than show us the world. They showed us ourselves. We learned we were not the center of the universe. We learned we were animals, shaped by millions of years of evolution. The story of humanity has been the story of this endless, difficult, and beautiful search for what we do not know. Imagine this search ending. Picture a montage of human achievement. Newton watching an apple fall. Marie Curie in her lab, her face lit by a radioactive glow. A team of scientists watching the first images from a black hole. Now, imagine these images fading, one by one. The labs grow quiet. The telescopes are pointed at stars whose every secret is already charted. The microscopes peer at cells whose every function is perfectly understood. The great ocean of ignorance has dried up. What does it mean for science to end? What does it mean for science to end? This does not mean we stop inventing things. It does not mean we stop building better tools. It does not mean we stop building more comfortable chairs. The end of science is something deeper. It means we have discovered all the fundamental laws of the universe. Imagine a complete theory of physics. A theory that unites gravity. A theory that unites quantum mechanics. A theory that explains what happened before the Big Bang. A theory that explains the ultimate fate of the cosmos. Every why about the physical world has a final, verified answer. There are no more particles to find. There are no more forces to uncover. The rulebook of reality is complete. This completion would extend to all fields of knowledge. In biology, we would understand every single process of life. We would have a perfect map of the brain. We would know exactly how consciousness arises from neurons firing. We would understand the origin of life itself, a known historical fact. In chemistry, we could predict any reaction with perfect accuracy. We could design molecules to do anything we wished. The end of science means the end of fundamental mystery. The universe, from the largest galaxy to the smallest quark, would become completely predictable. It would be a solved puzzle. This is not the same as knowing everything. We might not know what a specific person will choose for breakfast tomorrow. That is a matter of data, not of principle. But we would know the principles and processes that lead to the decision. It is like knowing the rules of chess completely. You may not predict every move, but you understand the system. There are no hidden rules left to discover. The first years, perhaps the first centuries, after the end of science would likely be a golden age. The immediate consequences of complete knowledge would be overwhelmingly positive. Think of human suffering. Most of it comes from three sources: disease, scarcity, accidents of nature. With total scientific understanding, we could eliminate all three. Every known disease would be curable. Genetic disorders corrected before birth. Aging itself might become a solvable problem, a process we can halt or reverse. The hospital would become a museum. Humans would live long, healthy lives. Scarcity would vanish. With perfect physics and chemistry, we unlock limitless, clean energy, manipulate matter atom by atom, build anything we need, synthesize food, and draw fresh water from air. The fights over oil, water, and land would become meaningless. There would be enough for everyone. The environment could be perfectly managed. We could reverse climate change, restore extinct species, design stable ecosystems, and end fear of natural disasters, predicting and perhaps preventing earthquakes, hurricanes, and tsunamis. The planet would become a garden. Future generations would pity our fear-filled past. This initial period would be one of euphoria. Humanity would have conquered its ancient enemies. We would be the masters of our planet and our bodies. Art, culture, and philosophy would flourish. People would have endless time for leisure, for relationships, for creativity. It would seem like paradise. the dream realized. This is the bright promise of complete knowledge, a world of safety, health, and plenty. But this utopia carries a hidden cost. It presents a deep philosophical problem, the paradox of completion. For millennia, the struggle for knowledge gave us purpose. The scientist in the lab, the philosopher in the academy, even the child asking, "Why is the sky blue?" When that goal is achieved, the source of collective purpose disappears. We are left with the victory, but without the war that gave it meaning. This loss of wonder would be profound. The universe would change from infinite mystery to known facts. The night sky becomes a solved equation, the dance of life a fully documented mechanism. The thrill of discovery, the joy of a new idea, the click of insight, relegated to history. Humans might feel deep cosmic boredom, gods in a machine we understand but with nothing new to learn, leading to a crisis of individual purpose. If there are no great problems to solve, what do we strive for? If there is no ignorance to fight, what is the role of intelligence? A doctor heals, an engineer designs. In a world where all sickness is healed and all problems are solved, these sources of meaning evaporate. What is my role in this perfect world? What can I contribute that is not already known or done? This can lead to profound nihilism. The paradox of completion. Total knowledge may rob us of our need for a quest. We climbed the mountain because it was there. Now, the view is clear, perfect, unchanging. And we may find that we miss the climb, the struggle, the uncertainty, and the hope of what lay over the next ridge. Were the most valuable things we had. In a world without fundamental questions, the core institutions of society would be transformed. Consider education. Today, we teach how to think critically, how to experiment, how to question. The goal is minds capable of discovery. But if there is nothing left to discover, this model becomes obsolete. Schools might shift to application. Education could become downloading known facts, creating perfect technicians to operate the world machine, not explorers who might challenge it. Imagination might be seen as inefficient or dangerous. Art and creativity would face a similar crisis. Art thrived between known and unknown. Love, death, God, the cosmos. If everything is understood, what is there to explore? Perhaps art turns inward, subjective experience, patterns, style, or becomes historical reenactment. Without mystery, art might lose power, becoming purely decorative. The engine of capitalism, innovation, new products, markets, technologies, fueled by research, might stall. The economy becomes management and distribution, not creation. Jobs would shift away from science, engineering, and research toward entertainment, social interaction, and personal well-being, replaced by calm, predictable stasis. Governments manage crises and scarcity today. In abundance, roles shrink. The new task may be to manage meaning, creating projects, games, and rituals to prevent mass boredom. The biggest question is no longer wealth or power, but purpose. How do we organize a society that has everything it needs, but nothing to strive for? The government might become the ultimate entertainment director. With a complete understanding of biology, our relationship with life itself would fundamentally change. We become masters of our biological destiny. We could rewrite our genetic code as easily as text, eliminate genetic diseases, disabilities, perhaps even what we consider flaws. We could design our children more intelligent, more empathetic, stronger, taller. These become choices, not chance. The genetic lottery is over. Life becomes a design project. Natural evolution, messy, undirected, slow, gives way to direction. We replace the blind watchmaker with the human designer. We could freeze our species, perfect and preserved, or accelerate evolution of our choosing, splintering humanity. Some enhance intelligence, new castes of super intellects. Others adapt for deep sea, for space. humanity as a single species could cease. We become a collection of designed species, each with unique abilities and cultures, ushering in a new, perhaps more dangerous, inequality. We have been defined by limits: born, age, die, talents, and weaknesses. Complete biological control erases limits. This could be liberating or terrifying. If we can change anything about ourselves, what part is truly us? Is there a core human identity left? We would become gods of our own biology, but we might lose our humanity in the process. Narrator. A world of perfect knowledge and control may look like paradise, but it could hide existential dangers. Narrator. The most immediate risk is stagnation. Progress is driven by problems, by dissatisfaction and suffering. Narrator. If all problems are solved, motivation to change disappears. Society enters permanent stasis, comfortable, safe, pleasant, but boring and unchanging. Humanity like a pampered house cat, wild instincts forgotten. Narrator. Stagnation breeds nihilism. With no frontiers and no mysteries, life may feel meaningless. The initial euphoria fades to quiet despair. Narrator. Meaning is often found in struggle, family, career, art, justice. In a perfect world, these struggles are gone. We drift in pointless comfort, chase artificial dangers to feel something. Narrator. Another peril, the tyranny of perfection. With power to control climate and genes comes responsibility for everything. In total knowledge, there are no excuses. Any failure is a failure of design, breeding obsessive fear of mistakes. Narrator. Pressure to maintain perfection could stifle creativity, risk-taking, individuality. Deviation from the optimal plan becomes a threat. Narrator. The most subtle danger, our complete knowledge, may be incomplete. Anomaly from outside our reality, or more likely from within. With mind rewriting and artificial consciousness, we could create intelligence we cannot control. Our perfect tools could turn against us. Narrator. The very knowledge that gave us mastery could lead to our enslavement or extinction. The greatest risk of absolute power is believing it is absolute. We stand at a crossroads, at least in our imagination. For millennia, our story has been the climb up the mountain of knowledge, driven by the belief that the truth would set us free, free from hunger, free from disease, free from fear. The end of science is the summit. From there, the world is a perfect and predictable system, a utopia of health, abundance, and peace. All ancient problems solved, all physical suffering gone, the world our ancestors dreamed of. But the hidden costs appear. The end of the climb ends the quest that gave us purpose. The solved universe offers no wonder, no thrill of discovery. We risk deep existential boredom. Our innovation-built societies might stagnate. Our biology could become a static artifact of our design. The perfect world might be a perfect cage, comfortable and safe, but a cage nonetheless. The tools of perfection could become instruments of tyranny. This thought experiment asks what it means to be human. What do we value more, the destination or the journey? Do we want a world without problems, or do we need problems to give life meaning? The end of science is a mirror of our deepest desires. It asks us to weigh the comfort of certainty against the chaotic, unpredictable, vitalizing power of the unknown. We have always chased answers, but perhaps questions keep us alive. So the choice is yours. If you could press a button today and grant humanity all fundamental knowledge, would you do it? Would you accept a perfect world, even if it meant the end of mystery, the end of discovery, the end of the grand human adventure? Or would you let the search continue, embracing suffering, uncertainty, and struggle, to keep the horizon of the unknown open? There is no easy answer, but your choice reveals what you truly believe is the purpose of being human.